Good morning, students. Today I am going to teach 6th standard science. In that continued part of the lesson, getting to know plants. Yes, children, we already started the lesson in the last class and we learned about different types of plants that is present around us. There are trees, shrubs, herbs, climbers and creepers. Is it? Yes. And then we learned about two major part present in the plant, that is the shoot part and the root part. In the root, it has consist of the main root, is it? And it has consist of two types of root, that is the taproot and fibrous root. Yes, children. And then in the root system, we learnt about the functions of the root. And we move to the shoot system. The shoot has consist of so many regions. In that, the stem. The stem, it has consist of the leaves, flowers, fruit and bud. Is it? And we learnt about some functions of the stem. In today's class, we are going to learn the other part of the plant, that is leaf. Okay? Yes, children. We have saw so many leaves. Different leaves have different shape, size. The shape and size, it will be vary. Yes. Isn't no? Yes. If you see the leaf have different shape, different size. It will be come. Leaves are thin, green, flat structure. They perform the function of photosynthesis, means the plants prepare their own food by a process we call it as photosynthesis, that you have already learned. Is it? Yes. Here green plants uses carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll pigment. It start preparing the food. We call that process as photosynthesis. Isn't it, children? Which is the part performed by this? Yes, it is a leaf. Leaf is a part that performs the process of photosynthesis. These are attached to the stem. If you see the leaves are get attached to the stem part by soft, thin, cylindrical structure. We call that as a petiole. Yes. The point of attachment in a stem, we call that one as node part. Here, the flat green portion of the leaf, we call it as leaf blade. If you see the leaf has flat green part. So that part we call it as leaf blade or the lamina. Yes, children. It bears the grain pigment. The plant, the leaf has consist of green pigment. If you see the leaves of the plant are green in color. This is because of presence of one pigment. We call that pigment as chlorophyll. That helps in photosynthesis. So each leaf has central part, we call it as a midrib, which extend of the petiole. If you see here in this picture, here it was showing the petiole and the flat part, that is a midrib, and we can see the lines, their veins, and we can see the lamina and the leaf which is attached to the stem part. It was showing the node. Isn't it, children? Yes. The petiole in the lamina, the midrib branch into the network of tubes. We can see that network of the tubes, we call it as veins. Yes. The veins provide support to the leaf blade and helps in transportation of food, water and minerals to the leaves, children. Okay. Here, if we come to the leaves comes in different shape and size. Simple leaf is made up of single leaf blade, which has consist of petiole. Example, mango leaf, maple leaf. It has single leaf blade, you can see, and it is attached to the stem by means of petiole. Example, mango, maple, and other leaves it will come. They are called as compound leaves. Compound leaf is a leaf made up of separate leaflets. If you see here in the picture, it was showing number of compound leaves. Here, what has been happened? It is separated by the leaflet, which is attached to the petiole region. Yes. Example, neem leaf, gulmohar. We can get a lot of examples. Okay. So, the leaves are two types. One is simple leaves and compound leaf. Simple leaf is a leaf which has consist of single midrib, that is get attached by means of petiole to the stem. Come to the compound leaf. Compound leaf, it is made up of separate leaflets. It is attached to the petiole region. Okay. How is the arrangement of the leaves? How the leaves are get arranged? Yes. The arrangement or the pattern of the veins in the leaf blade, we call it as venation. There are two types of venation we can see, children. It is parallel venation and reticulate venation. What is this parallel venation? The veins here are arranged parallelly. If you see the sugarcane leaves, grass leaves, if you tear it, it will cut it parallelly. So, the veins here arranged are parallel to each other. Example, banana leaves, grass leaves, sugarcane leaves. Okay. So, if you just tear it, it will become parallelly. The veins are arranged parallel. The second one is reticulate. In the picture, they are showing the parallel leaves as well as the reticulate leaves. Reticulate leaves, in this, there is a net-like arrangement we can see. On both the side of the leaves, we can see a network-like arrangement. Example, people, neem, mango. So many examples we can get for the reticulate venation leaves. Okay, no? So, depending upon the pattern of the veins in the leaf blade, the leaves are classified into parallel leaves and reticulate leaves. Parallel leaves, the veins are arranged here are parallel. In reticulate, the veins are arranged in the form of network. Okay. What is the function of leaf? The function of leaf is leaves helps in preparing the food by using the pigment. We call that as a chlorophyll pigment. Is it? Leaves manufacture food with the help of chlorophyll pigment by using sunlight, water, carbon dioxide. We call that process as photosynthesis process. Okay. So leaves have small openings. We call that as a tiny opening. What is the function of this tiny opening? This helps in exchange of gases by the process of respiration. With the help of the small openings, we call it as stomata. Yes, leaves perform the function of preparing the food and exchange of gases through stomata. Excess of water present in the leaf in the plant, it is removed through the stomata. We call that process as transpiration. This will also takes place in leaves. Yes, excess of water present in plant is lost through stomata present in the leaves. This is called transpiration. Leaves in some plants are modified into tendrils. You will see some of the plants like lily, pea, glory. The leaves are modified into tendril to give support for the stem. Okay. And in some xerophytes like cactus, where the water it will get in less quantity, the leaves are small, pointed, reduced to spines. The spine is present in the leaves. So because of the spine, they prevent the water loss. Okay. Some leaves, it will store food, which is rich in vitamins, minerals. Example, cabbage, spinach, or example. So, leaves helps in the exchange of gases. Leaves helps in preparing the food. Leaves helps in transpiration. Leaves provide support to some plants. Leaves helps to storage of food. Okay. So come to the next part in the plant is flower. Yes, children, flower is very colorful part and it is attractive to the insects and everyone. The flower is most colorful and attractive part of a plant and it is a reproductive part. Yes, it is a reproductive part of the plant. It appears on the plant after when the plant get maturity or they fully grown. Afterwards only the plants are going to bear the flowers. If you take the flower it has consist of, if you see here in this picture, the flower it has consist of base part that is called as a pedicel. Yes, this is a cylindrical portion by which the flower is attached to the stem. That is the stalk part of the pedicel. Yes, children. What we can see, the cylindrical portion by which the flower is attached to the stem, that we call it as pedicel. In some flowers, the pedicel swells or flattens to bear other parts of the flower. That is called as a thalamus. If you see here, upside the pedicel, we can see the thalamus. The rest of the part of flower are arranged on the orals. What are those? They are sepals. Sepals, or we call it as calyx. The outermost oral of the flower, outermost layer of the flower, which is green in color. If you see the flower, In this picture, it has showing the sepal or the calyx. It is the outermost part of the flower, which is green in color and protect the other parts in the bud. This is a sepal, or this is also called as calyx. Okay, no children? If we come to the next petal, see upside the sepal, we can see the petals. The flowers have petals, or we call it as corolla. This is the second oral part of the flower, and this is very colorful or attractive in color. Different colors it will come. Bright colors. Okay. Petals attract the insects for the pollination. So, petals are also called as corolla. Here, the second oral of the flower, we call it as petals or corolla. This is bright color, very attractive in colors. Why? To attract the insects for pollination. Okay. The next is stamen. If you see here, we can see the stamen, the third oral of the flower, and is a male reproductive part. It has consist of anther, filament, okay, and androecium. What we can see here, this is a male part, anther part, filament part, and the androecium. That is a male part of the flower. So, the stamen is the third oral of the flower. It is a male reproductive part. This is called as a stamen. It consists of long tube-like structure. That is a anther. This bears the pollen grains or the male gametes. We call it as androecium. Okay. The next is the carpel. See here, this is the innermost layer or the innermost oral of the flower. Or this is a female part which has consist of stigma, style, ovary and ovules. They are called as gynoecium, or we call it as female part of the flower. The male part has anther, filament. Female have stigma, style, ovary and ovules. That is a gynoecium part. Okay. So the carpel has comprises the female part. This is called as pistil or gynoecium. As we have shown in the picture, it has three distinct parts: stigma, style, ovary. And we have shown the basal bulge or the swallowed region, swollen part, that is a ovary, which has consist of number of ovules or female gametes are present. This ovary extends to the cylindrical long stalk called style, which ends in a flat sticky portion called stigma. If you see the flower, on upside we can get a sticky material, that is yellow color sticky substances. We call it as a stigma. Okay. This helps in transfer of pollen grain from anther to the flower of the stigma of same flower or another flower. We call it as pollination. Children, pollination means transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma. If you see here, the flower, there is a transfer of pollen grains from this anther to the stigma. We call it as pollination. Yes, the transfer of pollen grains takes place from anther of the flower to the stigma of the flower, we call it as pollination. It will take place to the same flower or for the different flower also. Okay. So, when the male gametes fuses with the female androecium fuses with the gynoecium, they get fertilization. Yes. So, what is the main function of this flower? Flower helps in pollination by attracting the insects. Okay. And flower grows into the fruits and seeds, which gives into the new plant. Okay, no? Then come to the fruit. Yes. The ovary of the flower, after fertilization, it develops into the fruit. Does everyone have saw the fruit? The ovary of the flower, fertilization afterwards, it is developed into the fruit. The fruit is juicy, is it? Pulpy and edible. They play a major role in seed dispersal. Inside the fruit, we can see the seed. Yes. The fruit has consist of two major parts. Outer covering called as pericarp and the fertilized gamete or the seed is present. Isn't it, children? Yes. Fruit is a juicy, pulpy and edible part. The fruit consists of outer covering and inner seeds. Yes. What is the function of this fruit? The fruit is an edible part. Everyone will eat this one. Of a plant that stores the food, that stores the carbohydrates or some of the other nutrients in it. So everyone will eat the fruit, which will act as an edible part of the plant. Fruit contain seeds within and protect from the harsh climate changes. And fruit also plays very important role in dispersal of the seeds. And then after dispersal, it developed into the new plant. Is it? The next part that is present in the shoot system is seed. Yes, seed. Everyone have sown the seeds and fruits. Every seed contains a tiny plant. We call it as embryo. If you see here, the structure of the fruit, it has endosperm, embryo, seed coat. Outer layer is a seed coat. This one we call it as seed. Every seed contains small plant or embryo with leaves, stem and root part waiting for the right condition for germination and growth. The fertilized ovule, we call it as seed. Yes, children, the fertilized ovule, what we have sown in the flower, ovary and ovule after fertilization. The fertilized ovule, we call it as seed. Ovule gives rise new plant and seeds are protected by the coat. We call it as seed coat. This is thin or thick and hard that protect the seed. Okay. So children, the seed contain of a part which will supply or the helps in the development of the plant embryo. What we call this part? This part is called as endosperm, children. It is formed at fertilization but is not a part of an embryo. So it is used to help its growth. The baby plant inside the seed is the embryo and protected by the cotyledons. If you see the plants we have discussed earlier, the plant have two types of cotyledons. One is monocot and dicot. Some seeds have two cotyledons. We call it as dicot. Example, groundnut. If you cut it, it bears two cotyledons. Some seeds have single cotyledon. If you crush it, it won't divide into two parts. Example, wheat, rice. Okay. So, some seeds have two cotyledons, monocot or dicot, and some seeds have one cotyledon is called monocot. Two cotyledon we call as dicot. One cotyledon we call it as monocot. Okay. Di means two. Dicot means two cotyledon. Monocot. Mono means single. Cot means cotyledons. So, the plant seeds which have single cotyledon we call monocot, which has double cotyledons we call it as dicot. What is the function of this seed? It helps in germination of the seed. At a proper temperature, water and light was getting, the seed started germinating and gives into the new plant. Is it no? Yes. So, what is the function of this leaf or what is the function of this seed? So, here as you know that when the seeds get optimum temperature, water and light, the seed started germinating. Is it no, children? Yes. So, what is the function of this seed? The seed protect the embryo and provide nourishment for the growth till the new plant will form from the root. Some seeds are light in weight while some have hair-like structure which help them for dispersal. Okay, so the main function of the seed is seed provide nourishment for the growth of new plant, and seeds are which is light and which is hair-like structures helps them in dispersal properly. So children, in this lesson we learned a lot of things about the plant. So we learned about a plant system has consist of two major parts, root system as well as the shoot system. In today's class we learned about the shoot system which has consist of stem, leaves, flowers, fruit and seed. I hope you all enjoyed the class. In the next class, I'm going to start the new lesson. Until then, bye. Have a good day.